Friday, the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday, the 13th.
And I'm Quinn Sparenblick, and you're watching Fast Forward News.
Today is Friday, May 13th, 2022.
This is our 28th edition of Fast Forward.
Hold up. Did you just say that today is Friday the 13th?
Yes, I did. Why?
Oh my goodness, I'm completely freaked out.
Me too.
Either you ever wonder why everyone gets so crazy and up in arms every time the 13th lands on a Friday?
Yes, why is that?
Well, we did some research on the topic, and this is what we found.
Just like walking under a ladder, crossing paths with a black cat, or breaking a mirror, many people hold fast to the belief that Friday the 13th brings bad luck.
Why is that?
Well, although it isn't uncertain exactly why this particular tradition of fearing the 13th began, negative superstitions have swirled around the number 13 for centuries.
Wow, this has been going on for centuries?
Yes, it has. Western cultures have historically associated the number 12 with completeness.
Oh, you mean like how we have the 12 days of Christmas, 12 months in the year, and the 12 tribes of Israel?
Yes, that's right. But unlike the number 12, the number 13 has a long history as a sign of bad luck.
What kind of bad luck?
Well, I found that a lot of this superstition actually has Christian roots.
Exactly right, Human. While folklore historians say it's tough to pinpoint exactly how the taboo came to be, many believe it originates from the Last Supper and the 13 guests who sat at the table the day before Friday's crucifixion.
Oh! Yeah, that makes sense.
Yikes, yes. Regardless of your beliefs, that whole story of the 13th and Friday equals dark.
Absolutely.
Also on Friday, October the 13th, 1307, officers of King Philip IV of France arrested hundreds of the Knights of Templar.
Oh wow, what happened to them?
Well, they were at the first impression on charges of various illegal behaviors, but because King Philip wanted access to the riches, most of them were executed.
That's awful. Have there been any traumatic events that occurred on Friday the 13th?
Oh,
in a more recent
yes.
time?
There was the German bombing of Buckingham Palace on Friday, September the 13th, 1940, and the murder of Kitty Genovese in Queens, New York on Friday, March 13th, 1964.
Don't forget the cyclones that killed more than 300,000 people in the Bangladesh on Friday, November 13th, 1970, and the disappearance of children Air Force plane on the Andes on Friday, October 13th, 1972.
There was also the death of rapper Tupac Shakur on Friday, September 13th, 1996, and the crash of Costa Concordia ship off the coast of Italy, which killed 30 people on Friday, January 2012.
Are all of these things the reason that many high-rise buildings don't have a 13th floor and why a lot of buses, trains, and planes don't have an aisle 13?
They certainly are. It is absolutely no surprise that many among us hold at least some fear of this freaky Friday the 13th, as we humans certainly are superstitious a lot.
This all makes sense now, but I'm not buying into these superstitions.
Me either, Keely. This is going to be a Fab Friday full of fantasticness.
Hey, Addie, that was just embarrassing.
Yes, very funny, Keely.
Back to our news. Today is indeed our 28th edition of Fast Forward, and we are now down to less than 2 weeks of school remaining.
Wow, so exciting.
We're going to jump right into our sports reports.
Yes, here to report on this week's action are our Sportscast team of Kinsey, Morgan, Dalen, Gavin, Kiera, and Lily.
Take it away, guys.
Action.
Thanks, Quinn, Keely, and Addie. I'm Morgan Harris.
And I'm Kinsey Russell. Guys, we're here to fill you in on what in the spring sports action. Morgan, let's start out with our golf team's match this past Monday evening.
Sounds great, Kinsey. Monday was a beautiful evening for all of our very busy sports teams. The Wooden Golf team defeated Decatur by a final score of 179 to 214 at Foxglove.
Coach Carter said, and I quote, "We played really well and had our best scoring night of the season with a low score of 179.
Two of our players shot their lowest scores of the season, and an 8th grader, Mason Dodson, who took the low medalist in the match with a 40.
Other scores in the match were Dylan Hall, 41, Liam Ralph, 47, Cameron Payne, 51, Jace Hammonds, 52.
Calvin Daly with 54, Evan McGauley with 56, Logan Whaley with 63, and Jude Rouse with 63.
Great job, golfers.
Yes, great job.
Our 8th grade softball team also competed on Monday night, taking on Mooresville Paul Hadley's middle school.
Our Lady Arties won the game 24-4 in 5 innings.
Wow, Grace Cook started on the mound pitching 3 innings. She allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts.
Macy O'Neill pitched the remaining 2 innings and allowed 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, and 3 strikeouts.
Hitting for the girls was on fire. They collected 25 hits as a team.
Ave Scholl had back-to-back home runs.
That's right, Ave's second home run went so far they needed a search and rescue crew to find the ball. Wow, that's amazing. Great job, Ave.
Ave finished battling with 3 for 5 with 6 RBIs. Ava Ennis also had a fantastic right batting 5 for 5 and tallied 4 RBIs. Emma Breen had an in-the-park home run and battled 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs.
Grace Cook went 3-4 with 2 RBIs. Brooklyn S. went 3-4, and Mackenzie Williams was 4-5 with 3 RBIs.
In addition, Kinley Cardwell and Emma Breen scored 4 times. In 45 bats, the team had 0 walks and only had 3 strikeouts.
Great job, Lady Arties. These girls were so good.
They truly are. Our 7th grade baseball team also played against Paul Hadley on Monday night.
The team had a tough loss, but Coach Lindsay reported some really bright moments for the team.
That's right. The team had some great fielding from Wyatt Hawkins, Gavin Long, and Landon Casey.
In addition, he reported that they had some really good base running by Wyatt Hawkins and Riley Butler.
Gavin Long got a nice hit, and Kyson Button knocked in a run.
Great job, 7th graders.
Our 4th team in action on Monday was our Ladies Arties Tennis, who also rallied against Paul Hadley Middle School.
The ladies lost by a score of 2-3, but they did some individual winners.
But his number 3 singles player, Nora Collins, won 8-5.
In addition, our number 1 doubles player of Sarah Giles and Blakely Schwab won 8-1.
When asked about the team, Coach Miller reported, and I quote, "My players have made great improvements over the season, and I am extremely proud of them." Our wooden and track field team also hit the road on Monday as they traveled to Franklin to take on the Grizzlies.
That's right, Coach Beltran had a ton of great news to report from this meet.
Others who achieved the personal best times in Franklin were
Cheyenne Horton, who PR'd in the 1,600-meter run. Kinsey Gant, who PR'd in the 400-meter dash. Gavin Roach, who PR'd in the 200-meter dash.
Alexis Tackett, who PR'd in the 200-meter dash. Hannah Ressler, who PR'd in the 200-meter dash. Emery Craigan, who PR'd in the 2,000-meter dash.
Bria Heinzelmeyer, who PR'd in the 200-meter dash. Gavin Roach, who PR'd in the 100-meter dash. Hayden Henderson, who PR'd in the 100-meter dash. And Andy Farmer, who ran his best split in the year in the 4x800 relay.
Great job, wooden track teams.
Next, we're going to send it down and will tell us about our teams and what they did on Wednesday night.
Over to you guys.
Thanks, Morgan and Kinsey. I'm Kayla McCone.
And I'm Kayla Matthews.
And I'm Emma Harris. We're going to report on Wednesday night's games, matches, and meets.
Wednesday was a crazy busy night for our sports teams. We're going to start with baseball.
Yesterday, our 7th grade team played Greenwood.
It was a great game, but our Arties fell short with a score of 8-9 in a game that went into extra innings.
At bat, Wyatt Hopkins went 1 for 4, Riley Butt went 1 for 3, Hudson Charles went 1 for 3.
Marley Miller went 1 for 2, Kyson Button went 2 for 4, Gavin Long went 2 for 4, and Landon Casey went 2 for 4.
Coach Lindsay reported that we had some great pitching from Gavin Long, who struck out 6, and Hudson Charles, who struck out 10.
Overall, it was a great effort.
Now let's move on to our school's softball teams.
Our 8th grade softball team won 12-0 at home against Perry Meridian.
Grace Cook pitched all 5 innings. She had 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, and no hits.
Mackenzie Williams was a huge part of that, calling every pitch at catcher.
Hitting, we had 12 hits as a team and 10 RBIs.
Individual stats were Kenzie Williams 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, Macy O'Neill 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, and Brooklyn Schweitzer 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs.
Ava Ennis led the scoring with 3 runs.
After Wednesday night, our 8th graders advanced 6-1 on the season.
Now let's talk about our 7th grade softball team.
They are fun to talk about as these girls know how to take care of business.
No doubt. On Wednesday, they went against Perry Meridian with a score of 23-1.
Wow.
I know, right?
Angelia Burkhart pitched all 4 innings and had 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 unearned run, and no hits.
Defense for the team also was on fire.
Coaches gave kudos to Rayleigh Smith in center field for a fantastic catch to help the no-hitter.
Bats were on fire. The team had 23 hits, including 4 home runs. With home runs were Nevaeh Dillon, Emma Mowry, Tessa Crumley, and Gracie Buckley. Our 7th grade team remains undefeated at 6-0 as of Wednesday night.
Way to go, ladies. If you haven't seen these girls play yet, you need to.
Also on Wednesday night, our wooden track team completed their last meet of the season.
Coach Beltran shared with us some great mid-state highlights.
The biggest highlight was with Caitlin Spurgeon.
That's right, Kaylin Spurgeon broke the 400-meter school record by over a half a second with a time of 109.39.
Great job, Caitlin!
Also with some great highlights were our long-distance runners Cameron Beasley and Andy Farmer, who both had their fantastic races.
Beasley ran his personal best time in the 800-meter, and Farmer PR'd in the 1600-meter run.
In addition, Beasley, Farmer, Jackson, and Dalton run a season's best time in the 4x800-meter relay.
Also, Farmer, Beasley, and Dalton were part of the 4x400 relay, which ran that season's best as well.
With the girls, Cora Chaplin ran a personal best in the 800-meter, and Kinsey Gant and Kendall Garrison both had fantastic runs in the 100-meter hurdles.
In addition, Kylie Etter PR'd in discus with a throw of 61 feet and 10 inches.
Again, Kaylin Spurgeon broke the school record for the 400-meter dash with a time of 109.39.
Layla Wolf also had a huge night as she placed in all 3 of her individual events. Wolf took first in long jump, third in the 200-meter dash, and fourth in the 100-meter dash.
Will Payton also had a big night at Mid-States. Will placed second in the 400-meter dash and 6th in long jump with a measurement of 17 feet and 1 inch.
Brianna Wiggins also ended her season with a personal best in the 200-meter dash and an 8th place finish. Brianna ran a 29.20 seconds.
Last but certainly not least to report on today is our wooden golf team.
These guys are on fire too.
Yes, they are. Our golf team won their 6-hole match against Indian Creek on Wednesday night with a final score of 115 to 117.
Wednesday was the team's final match of the season before junior mid-states next week. Mason Dawson led the team with a low score of 27.
Jace Hammonds scored with 28, Liam Ralph scored 29, and Evan McGully scored 31.
Logan Whaley scored a 34, Calvin Dilly scored a 39, and Jude Ralph scored a 39.
That's a wrap for our coverage of Wooden's Wednesday night sports action.
Now on to Jazzy and Lily, who will bring us our final schedule of our Wooden Spring sports schedule for next week.
Next week, we will bring you coverage of our final week of Wooden Spring Sports.
Wow, Lily, this season of sports seems like it went so fast.
It really does. Next week, we will bring you coverage of last night's action of our softball team against Plainfield, the final night of our track and field team's mid-state competition, and our tennis team's mid-state competition.
In addition, we will have coverage of golf team's junior state competition that begins tonight.
Good luck tonight, golfers.
Yes, good luck. Now let's take a look at our final week of Wooden Spring Sports schedule for the next week, May 16th through May 20th.
On Monday, our Lady Artie softball teams will divide and conquer. Our 7th grade softball team will play Paul Hadley, and our 8th grade softball team will match up against Beech Grove.
On Tuesday, both of our 7th and 8th grade baseball teams will take on Edgewood.
Also on Tuesday, our softball teams will play in their final game of the season. They will once again split up as our 7th grade Lady Arties will take on Beech Grove, and our 8th graders will face off against Greenwood.
Finally, on Thursday of next week, our Artesian baseball teams will play their final games of the season against Beech Grove.
Artesian athletes, we are very proud of you for the hard work, dedication, and sacrifices you have made this season.
For all of those who are still in season, finish strong, and we can't wait to report the results on your efforts next week.
As Dr. Seuss always says, don't cry because it's over.
Smile because it happened.
That's a wrap for this week's sports coverage.
Let's take a moment to recognize this week's birthdays.
Sounds great, Jazzy. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cadence Tinsley.
And I'm Audie Taylor.
And we're here to share with you
News from the office.
We wanted to begin this portion of Fast Forward News by taking a moment to thank all of our administrators and guidance counselors for arranging our fun day at Rascals last week.
Absolutely. Students had a great time celebrating their I Learn Prep commitments.
Also, last Thursday was a big day here at Wooden as Porch Time paid us a special visit.
That's right. As you remember, Porch Time had raised money for our spelling bee contestant, Abram Polly. Well, last Thursday, members from Porch Time and our community traveled into Wooden and presented Abram with a check for $3,000.
This money will be used for Abram and his family to attend the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C. this June. Congratulations again, Abram.
In other news, Cadence, have you heard all the buzz about our new strength training classes?
I absolutely have, Audie. I know so many people who are beyond thrilled that our school has started these classes this year.
Me too. These people, they're getting pretty buff.
They really are.
Watch now as we have a special segment recognizing the huge things going on in our strength classes in our brand new weight room led by Mr. Payne and Mr. Weber.
I'm Gavin Long.
And I'm Jocelyn Easley.
We're here to report on Wooden's first year of having a weight training program for our middle school students and athletes.
It has been an incredible class, and I've benefited so much from it.
Me too, Jesse. I feel like I'm much stronger.
I also feel like I've learned proper techniques for lifting from this class, and this will keep me safe in the weight room and injury-free as an athlete.
When asked about the class, Mr. Weber reported, and I quote, "Weight training classes are going great." He said both terms have been smooth and kids are definitely getting stronger and more agile.
Coach Weber and Coach Payne has taught many lifts such as bench press, squats, deadlifts, breast squats, and strict press.
The coaches have focused on proper mechanics in both running and jumping in order to make our Wooden athletes and students more sound on courts, fields, mats, and pools.
With these classes, our athletes have an advantage over middle school, and strength training helps prove and protect our ligaments, tendons, and bones from injury.
That's right. Lifting also helps prevent broken bones and even increases bone density.
As a participant in this class, I would like to thank Wooden for offering us this opportunity.
Absolutely. I feel great pride and ownership in being a part of this school's first year of strength training classes.
Back to you, Cadence and Emma.
So, last week, a select group of student athletes here at Woodin were invited to a half-day field trip to the high school for a leadership summit.
Yes, the purpose of the summit was to encourage these student athletes to be leaders in our school and amongst our community.
Motivation speakers at the event included our newly selected MSD of Martinsville Superintendent, Eric Bolin.
Congratulations to all those who were selected to attend, and we hope you are truly inspired to be your best selves and leaders to others.
Audie, can you believe that after today, we only have 9 days left of school?
Oh my gosh! Speaking of the end of school rolling around, we had some special guests join us in the studio this week with a fun announcement and information for us all.
That's right. Be sure to pay attention to the details as you watch this.
Hey guys!
It's Student Council!
Student Council is doing one last fundraiser of the school. We'll be raising money by selling tickets for the opportunity to pie a staff member in the face. Student Council members will be coming around to your success class next week to sell tickets. A name will be drawn from the top 3 teachers from a student, and that student will get to pie that teacher in the face. Help us make it a fun year of success.
Friday is PJ Day. We will be dreaming of summer vacation.
Monday, May 23rd is Cowboy Day. Yeehaw, it's almost summer. Swing your partner into summer vacation.
Tuesday is meme day. She doesn't even go here.
Wednesday, the 25th, is Dress for Success Day, or Dress Like Your Teacher. This will also be the 8th grade honors program, so be sure to look nice.
Thursday, the last day of school, is Tacky Tourist Day. Say aloha to summer.
Dress up!
Thanks, Student Council, for that fun announcement. We can't wait to dress up for the last 5 days of school. What's your favorite day?
Probably the meme day.
Me too. What do you think you're gonna go as?
Probably like that little girl with purple eyeshadow all over her face.
Well, I have a Christmas tree, and I'm gonna bring it and put a picture of Chris Pine on it.
Ask me what kind of tree I have. No. Just, Brandon, ask me what kind of tree. It's a Chris Pine.
As we wrap up our news from the office this week, we have a couple of reminders.
Yes, first of all, we will have part 3 of our summer birthday celebration at the very end of our announcements today.
This week, we are recognizing those with birthdays from August 1st to August 19th.
That's right. Please don't shut off the announcements early. That way these students can get their birthday recognitions.
Also, next week we'll be producing a bit of a special version of Fast Forward for our 8th graders.
We have some fun things planned for next week, so 8th graders, be ready to participate in our special spotlight.
Remember guys, the best way to predict the future is to create it.
That's a wrap for this week's Fast Forward news.
Have an amazing day and weekend, everyone.
Bye!
Friday, the 13th.